Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima, and today is Friday, June 12th. I'm going to be continuing to play the game Persona 3 Reload as a part of my Persona A Day series. That's where I've been playing the game one in-game day at a time as it lines up with the real calendar. I'm going to start off by going over what we did yesterday to make sure we're all aware of what happened as we come into today. Then we'll see where today's gameplay takes us. After that, we'll meet back here at the desk and talk about it a bit more and just see what other deeper connections we can make. And for any of you watching on YouTube, I will have timestamps in the description in case you want to jump to a specific section. Also, please be aware that this is a full playthrough of the game, so we will be encountering spoilers. So then let's start off by talking about what we did yesterday, Thursday, June 11th. It seemed like a pretty standard school day, and in the blink of an eye it was the afternoon. And we had received a text from Akihiko. He'd mentioned that Fuuka Yamagishi was finally fully recovered and she was leaving the hospital, and she was going to be at the dorm in the evening. And so we were all requested to be in attendance as we covered some deep information with her about everything she saw in Tartarus and her abilities. That was kind of a plan made for us for the evening, but that gave us the afternoon to spend some time. And so with that free time, I decided to respond to a text from Chihiro. She had texted us a couple times throughout the week wanting to get together and do something. She had a question for me or something, and I just wanted to not ignore that any longer than we have been. So I spent some time with her in the afternoon. And she wanted to walk home together and thought that we might stop by the Chagall Cafe on the way. So that sounded like a lot of fun. We made our way over there, and as we were enjoying our coffee, she'd mentioned feeling a little bit lightheaded, and she wasn't feeling that well. She hadn't eaten anything for lunch because she wasn't feeling well and wasn't feeling any better now. And she kind of had a fear that she had caught a cold. So she thought about stopping by the pharmacy while we were at the Polonia Mall, which made sense. I enjoy stopping by the pharmacy, and I know he's a good guy, so definitely a good time to get medicine. So I waited outside while she went in to pick up whatever medicine she needed. And when she came out, she encountered a guy that wanted her to spend the rest of the afternoon with him. He was kind of one of those guys. I mean, you know the kind I'm talking about. He didn't really want to take no for an answer. And given her anxiety around guys, she was a little flustered. But she's been making a lot of really good progress. Despite being nervous, she was able to take that calming deep breath and tell him no. She didn't want to spend the afternoon with him. And he seemed a little perplexed at that. You know, why would somebody turn him down? And at that point, after she had already said her stance on things, I decided to step in and just make my own presence known. Just to kind of be there for Chihiro in case she needed me. The guy kind of looked me over as I approached, and I told him to get lost. I didn't really want this going on any longer than it did because Chihiro wasn't feeling well, and she's already overcome so much with him today that I just didn't want things to escalate any further. So I kind of drew his attention over to me and told him to take a hike. And he wasn't very happy about that. He demanded to know who I was. Oh, you're spending time with him instead of with me, as he turned to Chihiro. And basically he said, whatever, this isn't worth it, and he left. Which was the best outcome we could have hoped for. Chihiro was afraid that this was going to break out into a fight when I had come over. So thankfully it didn't come to that, and I didn't mean to scare her with that. But she was still very nervous. She talked about how she was still shaking, and she went through a lot between anxiety and not feeling well. And I was able to help her calm down. I just told her to take a deep breath and just focus on that breathing. And she was able to calm down, thankfully. And she mentioned that she was thankful I was there. I do think that she had things well handled, and I was proud of her for being able to stand up to the guy. But I just wanted to be there for her and support her as well. And she was happy to have that support. So we were able to increase our social link rank to rank 4 throughout the encounters there. And at that point she decided she wanted to hurry home. As fun as it was to spend some time together, she wasn't feeling well and she'd already been through a lot, so she hurried off to get home. So that was where we parted ways in the afternoon, and it took me back to the dorm. And we had that meeting in the command room waiting for us, so I didn't really have a lot of alternatives to plan for at that point, so I headed upstairs to meet with everyone else. Chairman Ikutsuki was there, all the members of SEAS were there, and Fuuka Yamagishi was there. And the chairman took the lead, as he's kind of the overseer of our organization, and explained everything to Fuuka about shadows and Tartarus, and explained that her power is that of the persona. It was kind of nice to just get to see the same explanation we heard a month or so back as we were initiated into SEAS, and to kind of see that from the other side now that we're a part of the organization already. So after all that information was presented, Mitsuru asked Fuuka if she would be willing to join us. Yukari and I both kind of stepped in and reminded Fuuka that this needs to be her choice, and we don't want to pressure her into it, and that she can take whatever time she needs to think about it. But Fuuka looked determined and said she didn't need any time to think about it, and if she can help us, she wants to join. So that was admirable, and everyone was excited to have her. Yukari did still seem to have some fears that she felt pressured to join, but it seemed to me that this was Fuuka's choice, and I'm glad to have her on our side. We spent that little bit of time, the one battle on Monday, with her giving us directions, and that worked out well, so I'm excited for the potential we have as an organization with another new member. And so Mitsuru and the chairman talked about how they're going to help her get moved into the dorm and sort out all sorts of paperwork and logistics on that. So in the coming days or weeks or whatever time frame it is, Fuuka will be joining us at the dorm and be part of C's and our expeditions into Tartarus. After that meeting wrapped up, I actually had a little bit of time left in the evening, so that felt like a bonus to me. And one thing I'd been looking at for a while and wondering about was a couple bits of software at the Net Cafe. A mindful boot camp and a muscle boot camp. I wasn't quite sure what they were going to do for me, but I figured last night I had that extra time that seemed like a bonus, so it was a good time to test one of those out. So I headed out and picked up the muscle boot camp and brought it back to the shared computer. It taught me all about muscle training and development, and it said that I improved my stamina as a result of learning, I think it was 600 new techniques or something. They even said I was promoted to Muscle Sergeant, which sounded like a nice fancy title. But that bonus to stamina came in the form of a permanent +7 to my hit points, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it can make or break as a difference later on in the game, so I will definitely take a greater max hit point pool. But after using that and making progress, I headed up to bed to rest up for another new day. So that was how Thursday wrapped up to take us fully prepared and ready to see where Friday goes. I'll get us over there, and let's have another fun day. Okay, here we are. This is where we wrap things up on Thursday. This was the very ending of using that software as we got that stamina boost. Yeah, max HP increased by 7. Very nice. So yeah, we covered a lot of ground on Thursday. We'll come into Friday and see if we can keep making that same progress. You'll also notice that limit number on the screen.
Morning.
I'll interject on that before we get into today's conversation with Yukari. We talked a bit more about that at the meeting as well. I didn't bring that up in our summary, but we all kind of realize now that the full moon seems to correspond with these unique shadow attacks. And so knowing that, we're able to make our own preparations and plan ahead. The game is nice enough to give us that overlay at the day change, as well as you can see up in the right corner there, we've got limit 25 there. That just kind of lets us know in no uncertain terms how soon the next full moon is. So we know we've got 25 days from now to prepare. So, knowing that, let's take it into today then. Good morning. Hey, Shima-kun, what do you think of Yamagishi-san? She seems nice, sweet, organized, positive. I don't know a lot about her. I guess it's hard to see anything beyond the surface assumptions, but I don't think anything negative about her. She is cute. I'm not going to say no to that, but from what I have actually encountered with her, I want to go beyond just that surface level assessment, and she was extremely helpful in Tartarus. She guided us all back together when Junpei, Akihiko, and I were separated. She helped us navigate down, presumably around away from the shadows to get back down to the first floor quickly, and she helped us during the fight against the Emperor and Empress shadows. In a limited encounter with her, she was quite helpful.
Huh?
That's all you have to say? Like I say, I don't know a lot about her. It's hard to really make a lot of judgments that aren't superficial. I mean, yeah, her persona ability is pretty amazing, but doesn't it seem like she wasn't really given a choice in joining the team? I don't know. Yukari and I both did kind of step in the meeting and say, this has to be your choice and take all the time you need. But it was still Fuuka ultimately that did make that call. I hope she'll be okay. That's true. I mean, I definitely do hope she'll be okay. And if Yukari and I are both concerned about that, it kind of falls to us to be on Fuuka's side going forward here and just try to make sure that things go well for her. And I'm glad that Yukari comes to me and is fine sharing those sort of concerns with me.
Hey, did you hear? Apparently, Mr. Akoda's in hot water. Really? What'd he do? I don't know, but I think it's serious. Sexual harassment, maybe?
Coming off of a week of quickly spreading rumors last week as we were investigating things, here's another situation where not a lot of details are known, but that doesn't stop people from jumping to conclusions.
I can totally see that.
I guess I don't really want to jump to too much of a conclusion, but I believe, the trouble probably stems from what we learned when we were called to the faculty office, and it was revealed that he knew that Fuuka wasn't in the hospital, and in fact that she was missing, but was covering that up. That sounds more likely to be the case, since Mitsuru talked about how there were going to be repercussions for that. But without those details being made public, it just leaves the public to wander and make their own narrative.
Good morning. Hey, look! It's the ghost girl!
That's gotta be tough for Fuuka.
Quiet, she can hear you. Oh, Fuuka, you're here.
It's Natsuki. Good to see her doing well as well. And to see her reaching out to Fuuka like this sounds like quite the departure from the bullying that had gone on before. And this is kind of interesting too, because it was thought that she wasn't going to remember the things that happened in Tartarus, but Mitsuru did speculate that perhaps she might carry some of the things and feelings over that were deep-seated feelings of wanting to apologize to Fuuka, so maybe we're going to see that here, hopefully.
Moriyama-san? I heard you started living in the dorms. Yes. You're looking glum today, as usual. Well, if you got something on your mind, you can always talk to me.
Okay, that sounds like a positive encounter.
You could probably use a friend, huh? Moriyama-san.
And the relief in Fuuka's voice there.
Come on, you don't gotta be so stiff. Just call me Natsuki. Thank you.
Nice. Well, I'm happy for the both of them. A different kind of presentation of information during our school day today, but a lot of good stuff. Seems like Fuuka's got somebody in her class now that she can interact with. Got my fingers crossed for her. And to hear that it's already known that she's living at the dorm, considering we talked about that last night. The chairman and Mitsuru must work fast. Before I look at any of my messages or anything anybody else did today, I see Kenji there, and I really do want to spend time with him sooner than later. It's been quite a while since we've had a chance to get in touch with him. So at this point, before I have any other information for my day, I'm kind of leaning in that direction. But we will see what sort of messages we have or what sort of interactions we make around school, but just kind of going to say right now that he's top of my priority list without having any other information. Track practice and student council work also do seem important, but being a good friend to Kenji, I don't want to let that fall to the wayside either. Miyamoto says track practice. You're coming today, right? You better. Odagiri, this is Odagiri. Today's student council duties are the same as usual. Come to the student council room if you'd like to attend. That's all. Kenji, yo, you busy? Give me a shout if you want to hang. I'll be in the classroom. Our favorite ramen place, Hagakure. We'll let you in on a secret. Our ramen is really good for your skin. The collagen that our dishes contain is sure to make you stunning. Our tender pork is a friend of beautiful skin. Make yourself shine by eating at Hagakure. And Chagall. How are you doing on this lovely afternoon? Chagall is open for business today. Our cafe's most popular item, pheromone coffee, is guaranteed to increase your ability to captivate the hearts of everyone around you. We look forward to your visit. Looks like we've got some people to talk to as well. Junpei, we haven't seen him in a while. I wonder if he's excited after everything yesterday.
Hey.
I don't know how it already slipped my mind when it's obviously the topic on everyone else's, but yes, Mr. Akoda. That is the defining rumor around school. Now I feel even more motivated to go around and see what the general populace's take is on that. Not that I really want to be part of the gossip, but maybe I kind of do, I suppose. Dakota was Fuuka's homeroom teacher, right? I saw him just now, and man, he looked like his world was gonna end. Is this what Kirijo-senpai meant? She did tell him this won't be the last you hear of this. She did tell him that. Kenji, I might see you soon. It must suck to be a bully. You have to pretend to be nice so no one gets suspicious, and if someone finds out, you'd have to be even nicer to them. That is probably one downside about it. Being a bully in general sounds like a downside in and of itself, but yeah, there's lots of downsides to it. Yukari, how was the day? I'm glad there won't be a full moon for a while, but still, I can't help thinking about it. That will be good to keep in mind. And it is also one of those, it's 25 days away. That seems like forever away. But it will surprisingly be here before we know it. And there's Bebe. Looks like we could spend time with him as well. Oh, nobody up on the roof today. I guess it's a Friday afternoon. People want to get out and be done with their day here. And we're right here. Let's stop in the corridor. The elderly couple, as I see the persimmon tree here, that's another social interaction I want to get back to eventually. Part of that is just me not having the right persona on my person right now. They are widely available, more so than a lot of social links as well, but I don't want to keep falling back on that excuse. But just like Kenji, I don't want to let it go too long before continuing their storyline either. And nothing says we need to have that persona with us, so that's just a hang-up of my own. I don't see anybody else with anything new out here to talk about, though, surprisingly. So let's move on with our day. How about this? Let's start at that station, which is going to be, ironically, I think, probably taking the train to that station, only to take it back to Port Island, but we'll mix up the routing a little bit today. We'll get out, we'll stretch our legs. Looks like still a pleasant day. It's probably getting warmer. Hopefully the humidity is not the big thing to be concerned about right now, but just get out and see the day. It was nice stopping by the Net Cafe the other day, too, and picking up that software. I'd kind of been wondering what those were going to do for me. And I can infer that the Mindful Boot Camp is kind of the SP complement to the Muscle Boot Camp that we used last night. Here I was. I said we're going to take the train and go back to the station, but just out of habit, here we are at the shrine. But I like it here, so I'm not opposed to that. And so we're contemplating here at the offering box today. We're still surrounded by nature and spirituality and away from the hustle and bustle of it all. So a few deep breaths just to calm ourselves down. Okay, everybody feeling nice and calm? All right, let's continue on with our day then. Well, I've already deviated from the path, so why don't we head off to the Polonia Mall now and end up at Port Island Station. There's a couple talking about some new stuff. I'm getting hungry. Should we stop somewhere and grab a bite to eat? Ooh, let's get some of Octopia's takoyaki. It's at the Iwatodai Strip Mall, so we'll have to take the monorail. I like how that's a reminder about Octopia and their takoyaki, but also just the fact that it's a totally normal, innocent conversation that you might overhear. Like, we already know about the place. I've already shopped there before. I've eaten there before, but other people just talking casually about a place they like to go. It doesn't further our narrative or really impact our character in any way, but it's the kind of real thing you would hear people talking about. It makes the world just seem much more like a world and less of a stage for our character to play a game on.
By the way,
how's your day going, Officer Kurosawa? Peaceful, I hope.
as long as you need.
Yep, still no new equipment to buy. I'm okay with that for now.
You finished?
I am. Just a quick visit to stop in and say hi.
Be seeing you.
You know what? I can at least mix this routing up. So we'll go back to Game Parade here, and then we'll work our way back to the Velvet Room. It's House of the Deceased for our social skill game today for our courage, and Real Wheel Racer for our persona skill. I'm still working on charm as my main focus right now. Nothing wrong with working on some courage, but... I'm just talking about getting hot. Still the same selection of medicine. I kind of expected that to be the case. So we're not really here to buy. If we do, it'll be tomorrow during a sale, but even then we didn't consume any medicine over the full moon encounter, so I don't think we're necessarily looking to buy anything. But we'll see what the new...
You're not shouldering a heavy burden all on your own, are you, lad?
Thankfully not. I've got a lot of friends.
Health is just as important as your physical health. No?
That is true. But yes, I've got a lot of friends and social links that I can confide in and stay positive, so I'm very fortunate there.
Done already?
I am. Nice to have that pep talk, though, about including others and the benefit they have.
Come again, yeah?
I will. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of things this playthrough, but the pharmacist, I don't want to say especially because there are so many fun things, but in past playthroughs when I played this game before, he was just a shopkeeper to me. It's kind of a callous, cruel thing to say maybe, but I only really went there if I needed to buy something. I never really stopped in just to listen to him and be around him, so it's nice to have gotten to know him a bit more in this playthrough.
Good day.
Everything else has been the same, so I'm assuming the requests will be as well.
Request?
And they are.
Very well then.
And I believe I've got Jack Frost with me as a magician persona. Oh, Jack-o'-lantern. I was close, just the wrong element. But that will cover Kenji's social link. So we don't need to summon or fuse any personas here, but we can still stop in and say hi to Igor.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Elizabeth, Igor, nice to see you both again. Not a lot to say, just hoping your day is going well, that your week is ending up on a positive note, and things are just proceeding the way you want them to. But thank you always for your help, and I hope to see you again.
We look forward to your next visit.
Hopefully they like me regularly stopping in like that without any business. Hopefully it's not an inconvenience or an annoyance. They don't see me coming, it's like, here he is again. Okay, what's he gonna do this time? Sit there for 5 seconds and then walk away? So I'm hoping it's not that. I'm hoping they're actually genuinely happy to see me. I guess if not, they'd have told me, or Elizabeth wouldn't open the door one of these times. So yes, one more stop, Port Island Station, and then we'll head back, and I'm thinking spend some time with Kenji. We'll be that tourist at the movie theater again, though, and view our title of the day. Thy name is now showing. High school students pay 1,500 yen. That would work on our charm, which would be nice. You know what? We haven't checked what everybody else did with the day yet, have we? Social links dominated again. That's interesting. Everyone's average level moved up 1 level to 20. I didn't think we could go to Tartarus last night, but maybe I missed that. But yeah, most people were doing social links today. Odagiri, Miyamoto, Tomochika, and Bebe. We're good on plants. But we can't be at the Port Island Station and not stop back here and say mew to the weak cat. Mew. And the other cat's looking just as good. So, looking good back here. But let's make our way back to the school now. Forgot where I was going for a second there. Not often I run all the way back to the classroom. Here is Kenji. And as I've been trying to get better at, let's take a look at the social link, since, especially in his case, it's been a while since we did anything together. I believe last time we were together, we went to Hagakure Ramen again, and he talked more about his plan, about the teacher he likes, and how he wants to get out of the everyday routine of everything being the same, and he wants something to change and be different. And that kind of focused his efforts on planning to confess his feelings. I think that's about how things left off. And we're looking pretty good across the board. A couple 3s in there still, but most things are around 4. With any luck, we'll be able to say the same about Kenji after today, but we'll see how that goes. Tomochika has grown tired of his boring life. He's decided to go through with his confession to Miss Kano. So, let's see how that goes.
Hey.
Oh yeah, totally random, but have you ever heard of the Gourmet King? I don't believe we have. Apparently there's a foodie around here who's a cut above the rest. They say he's a student at our school. Wouldn't it be cool if he told us the best places to eat? I'd totally take a date there.
Oh, yeah.
I heard he's really into sandwiches now, so you could probably catch him eating one in town. This all sounds like important information I'm going to want to keep track of. Tomochika gave me a lead on the Gourmet King. Anyways, I'm going to head out soon. How about you? Looks like Tomochika wants to hang out. I've got Jack-o'-lantern, not Jack Frost, so that should help. Well, yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to make any potential social link progress, but even still, I still think I do want to spend that time with Kenji. It's been a while, and relationships like this take progress and time, so let's spend that time. Huh? You coming with? Cool, let's hang out then. Back at our regular place. Nice to have those places you can kind of count on, and the same seating, the same food, just those comforts then. Oh, and then guess what? I can feel my bond with Tomochika grow stronger as we spend time together. I feel like our relationship will grow stronger soon. So yeah, it was a nice standard back and forth, talking about whatever we were getting up to. Possibly the rumors about Akota. If everybody else was talking about those, I'm sure that would be the topic of conversation here as well. And his plan for Miss Kano. He's probably still trying to get the courage to confess his feelings. But we've talked about the secret plan before, so maybe he let me in on some things he was considering. And hopefully I was able to give him proper sage advice on that. It looks like a standard time. So we ate, we enjoyed, we spent some time together, and got a little closer. With that, it's almost dark. I decided to go back to the dorm.
Welcome back.
What's up, dude? Oh yeah, I hear Fuuka's moving into one of the rooms on the 3rd floor. But the girls put their foot down when I offered to help. Said us guys aren't allowed. Anyways, looks like she'll be coming here pretty early tomorrow. Exciting stuff, huh? It is. Probably quite the change for her. And still, just an amazing turnaround time after finding out last night that she was going to be living here to having her all moved in, ideally by tomorrow morning. They work fast. And I'm guessing if they're moving her in, it probably won't be too likely that we'll be headed out to Tartarus tonight, but let's head up to our room, put this bag away, and see where the evening takes us. Interesting. Our second ad from Hagakure today, this one's touting their limited menu. Today is our special menu day. We only have limited quantities, so get yours before they run out. First come, first served. Our tender pork is a friend of beautiful skin. Make yourself shine by eating at Hagakure. That would have been really tempting to do if we didn't just do that with Kenji. And Games Parade. Games. Come play our popular crane game and try to win a prize. Then stick around and hop onto one of our many immersive video games. There's great fun to be had, whether you're alone or with friends. We can't wait to see you. Okay. 9% of people, again, have spent time on a social link that I haven't made yet. Got to get on that eventually. But everybody else went into daily life activities. I said before, I believe, that I'm 3s across the board in our social skills. Those were looking good, yep. Charm, courage, and academics. Confident, determined, and above average. I've been working on charm recently because we need to reach the rank of smooth to interact with the man in the suit that we'd seen at the Polonia Mall. And both charm and courage leveled up last week sometime, so I think we're a little ways off between seeing them actually go up again, but we've been making steady progress, especially in charm. Academics has kind of taken a back seat ever since exams, but I don't want to let that one languish too long either. But it looked like Junpei and Nakahiko had some stuff to say downstairs. After that, I might try to head up to the 3rd floor and see what I can see. Within reason, of course. Junpei, I can read that body language as a gamer, that looking up at the ceiling away from your game. Probably not something good just happened. But how you doing? The girls said no guys allowed, but what if they need help carrying the heavier stuff? Well, I guess they'll call for us if they really need the help. Oh, Nakahiko's eating something that looks good again. What is it? If you're looking for Mitsuru and Takeba, they're on the 3rd floor. Sounds like they're getting Yamagishi's room ready, so I doubt we'll be of much use. Unless, like, they find a cockroach or something. Oh, almost ran right by the TV. Let's see what's on TV. Going into the rainy season, we've got an unusual clip to show. What you're seeing is a prototype of an artificial rain generator. For a country like this, where water is becoming scarce. Again, it's been really cool to see the recent news shows in the game about developments and scientific progress and future thinking. I like that sort of thing, and it's nice to see it portrayed there. Let's take a risk and head up here and see what we can see. Yukari? This room must be covered in dust since no one's used it before. Please don't let there be any cockroaches. Mitsuru?
I'm sorry.
I apologize for not being able to go to Tartarus multiple days in a row. Preparing for Yamagishi's move has taken longer than I anticipated.
Never mind that.
In any case, this floor is reserved for the girls' rooms. Males are not permitted. Please return downstairs. Yes, ma'am. When I understand us not being able to go to Tartarus, we've been busy with other things, and I can only imagine how busy Mitsuru's been trying to coordinate everything in such a short time of getting Fuuka, in the hospital, out of the hospital, here to the dorm, moved into the dorm. We've got some potatoes that should be ready on the 16th. And after everything that happened on Monday, I'm sure having a break from Tartarus isn't unwelcome to the rest of us either. But no Tartarus tonight, so let's see where the world goes. It was courage at the arcade. I could stop at the net cafe and pick up that last bit of software. That'd be kind of 2 nights in a row of that, but if it does what I assume it will do with our SP, the way it helped our HP, that would be a beneficial thing to have sooner than later. But we'll start at the Polonia Mall and maybe make our way that way. I believe my only options for charm would be going to Chagall Cafe or Hakakure Ramen, but again, since I did that after school, kind of seems... wouldn't be bad, if you like the food, but it might be kind of a lot all in one day to have multiple servings of big bowls of ramen like that. As I start walking towards the arcade, I was actually here to start off at Club Escapade. Make that one of our stops in the evening here. Listen to the beats. The couple's up here. We can get a fortune told while we're here. It might be the same as it's been the last few times, but I guess that's a sign of a good fortune teller if the fortune doesn't change. Now tell me, what shall it be? I want to know my future. Then let us begin. I feel another change. A strong wind blows across the world, sending a blue flower's petals into the air. How will you interpret this wind? as a weak and frail breeze or a brave and mighty gust. Let us hope that you find fortune in your destiny. I think that's everything we have to see here. We talked the other day, too, about how those fortunes are open to interpretation and things. So I wonder if maybe we were to interpret that relating to Fuuka. We had this similar fortune before everything played out at Tartarus, but maybe she's that potentially weak or potentially strong breeze. For the longest time, we thought that she was some frail, student that was being bullied and recovering at the hospital, but she showed good conviction multiple times in what little time we've spent with her, stepping in to save Yamagishi during the attack at Tartarus, helping us without knowing what her power was against those big shadows. Maybe she's got a hidden strength that we're not yet aware of. Maybe, so maybe that fortune could apply to her. That's the thing about vague fortunes. They can be applied in a lot of different directions, I suppose, but maybe that's one of them. We haven't checked this bulletin board in a while. It's the PlayStation's bulletin board. There are posters regarding traffic safety and reminders of recent crimes. Well, we could work on courage at Game Parade. Or we could at least head off to the station. Make our way back here if we decide that. Just kind of enjoy the night atmosphere. If it was warmer and humid during the afternoon, maybe it's nicer to be out in the evening hours here. We could do Wild Duck again. That would be courage. And if I were doing courage, I might end up at the arcade because we haven't enjoyed any time there in a while. We could do Wakatsu, but we, again, had food not that long ago with Kenji. Or I could stop at the net cafe here. At the very least, we can go in and browse. That would only be 2,000 yen. It would be 3,000 if I went to the arcade. And this would catch us up on the entirety of everything available at the net cafe if I were to take this home today. There is a lot in my head to be said for getting that done. Not that I want to be done with an activity, but knowing that it's complete too. Kind of like during the investigation and making sure I talk to everybody. It's more of that not missing things sort of vibe, I think. Yeah, we're here, let's buy it. We'll still keep walking around and make sure, but I'm thinking, I know we're going to use it at some point. Tonight might be a good night for that. That way we can kind of get those all done and really dig back into the social skills. From our character standpoint, it might be kind of fun as well. He seems to like computer-based activities. And we did get that late afternoon meal with Kenji, so again, we're not probably super hungry, which narrows it down to activities at Polonia, be it singing karaoke or playing at the arcade or getting coffee. How about this? Let's head back to the dorm with our software. They talked about moving Fuuka in, and it was girls only that were working up there on the 3rd floor. But kind of like Junpei said, if they need our help, they will let us know. So if I am on hand, if I'm doing something at the shared computer here and they've got something that they need whatever level of assistance with, then we're all here to do whatever that task is. I'm not leaving it to just Akihiko and Junpei, or, I'm pulling my own weight with the rest of the team, I guess. And if they don't need me, then I'm able to focus on the software here. And also, like I've said, with the shared software, I'd like to think that once we purchase this and use it, we can leave it here for everyone else to use. So maybe somebody else will get some benefit out of it as well. But just being able to use that and know that it's all been properly used and enjoyed and spent and all that good stuff, I think I'm going to feel pretty good about having that all done. Eventually, I'm sure that new software will make its way into the rotation, but for now, we'll know that we're all caught up. And it won't be one of those things where we get to the point of being really busy even in the evenings and trying to fit in just more software. And if this does work on RSP, then it'll be nice once we get back to Tartarus to just have that bit more of a resource. So all that explaining aside, I think that's how I want to spend my Friday evening here. Should I spend time on the computer? Was there anything else I wanted to do? I don't know why, I just had that thought. It's like there was something else I was going to do, wasn't there? But we already went upstairs and talked to everybody. The potatoes aren't ready to harvest. I think that pretty much does cover it. All right, let's enjoy the Mindful Bootcamp, which is PC software for growing your mind through meditation. Mindful Bootcamp. It appears to be software that teaches mindfulness meditation. Even those who have a hard time concentrating will be able to focus their minds with this program. Lessons on proper breathing and posture begin to play. My head feels clearer than before. I feel like the meditation has helped me train my mind. All right, max if I can read, max SP increased by 5. That's pretty big. I think I only had something like 120 to begin with, so 5 more points, that's another skill. And so it's gotten late. I guess they didn't need any of my help moving anything or dealing with anything up there, so I guess I'm making my way back to my room. Oh, and here I thought we were done, but looks like the dark hour is happening. This always feels like bonus content.
You've prevailed yet again.
Here we are again with the mysterious boy.
Do you remember what I said before?
Yes, in general, but some specifics would probably help narrow that remembering.
About everything coming to an end?
That did come up, yes.
Well, I recalled something else. I'm pretty sure the end is unavoidable.
Well, that's unfortunate.
But it's kind of weird. It doesn't feel that inevitable right now, considering the vast potential inside you. Plus, it seems like your powers changed quite a bit.
It really does, in that regard. Looking back at how I was a couple months ago to how I am now, I feel like I've taken so many strides forward in so many different aspects of my life.
Hey, if you don't mind, can I be your friend?
Absolutely.
I'm really curious about you. What do you say?
He's already been a good friend to me. He's warned me about the impending danger. And he's got that nice, calm, pleasant demeanor. He's always on my side, so absolutely. I would definitely like you as a friend. I mean, they all seem to end up with me being a friend here with these choices. I'm not going to go with, yeah, whatever. That sounds way too dismissive. Fine by me kind of also goes in that direction. But I feel like just calling him Mysterious Boy, it describes what he is, but not really who he is, so it would be kind of nice to learn his name. Somehow that hasn't come up at all in our conversations in the last 2 months, but I do want to become friends, and I think a good starting point in that would be to try to learn his name. So sure, what's your name?
Name? Oh, I see. I need a name.
That's an interesting way to introduce yourself.
My name is Pharaohs.
Pharaohs. Okay. Nice to meet you, Pharaohs. That sounds better than calling you Mysterious Boy.
I know we'll get along great.
We already have, so I have no reason to doubt that. I can feel the beginning of a bond with the Mysterious Boy, Pharaohs. Here we go.
I am thou. Thou art I. Thou hast established a new bond. Thou shalt have our blessing when thou choosest to create a persona of the Death Arcana.
So that is a whole new social link. Somewhat ominous that it's the Death Arcana, but somebody's got to be. And it's been a while since we've made a new social link, so I'm going to say it every time probably, but I love these cutscenes. The establishment of a new bond here. So that is rank 1 with the Mysterious Boy, now known as Pharaohs. We get to enjoy the details of a brand new card here as well. Wonderful.
Well, it's getting late, so I'm going now.
I hope to see you again soon, Pharos.
I can hardly wait until the next time we meet.
Likewise.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, that was cool. I didn't anticipate that lap happening. Before we get into tomorrow, though, let's head back to the desk and talk about today. I'll send us back. Okay, so here we are. That is the end of Friday, June 12th. And it was another great day. We got to start off at school as we've been. Got to hear some rumors, which I guess we've been doing a lot of that recently too, but these dealt with Mr. Ikoda. And he was facing some sort of discipline of some capacity, and nobody really knew why, so rumors were spreading far and wide about what that could possibly be. We had some idea that it probably relates to what Mitsuru had said about there being consequences for the fact that he knew that Fuuka was missing and not in the hospital. But that was the topic that spread around the school. I almost forgot about that too. At school, during the morning, we got to see from Fuuka's perspective when she returned to her classroom after as long as it had been. I'm sure there was a lot of apprehension coming back in there after being bullied and locked in the gym and all that. And people referred to her as the ghost girl as soon as she arrived, which kind of seems like it was going to be continuing that trend. But of all people then, Natsuki Moriyama, the girl who rushed in to try to apologize to Fuuka during their time at Tartarus, she was there and said, basically, let's be friends, more or less. You don't need to be so formal or polite around me. Let's be friends. And Fuuka seemed really relieved to have someone on her side. And I think Natsuki was as well. And she said, don't call me Moriyama, just call me Natsuki. We'll keep it casual. And so it seems like she was able to turn that corner and amend her actions for bullying and try to make amends. And Fuuka's got somebody else on her side in the class now. So hopefully things take a positive turn in that direction. But back to our day then. So we made it through our school day side of things. Talked to people after school. Headed out around town just to see the sights. Ended up coming back with the rest of the time I had to spend some time with Kenji Tomochika. He was the one that's been probably the longest I'd spent any time with, and I didn't want to let that go too far. He was free this afternoon, and it just kind of sounded like a fun thing Friday after school to get together with a friend and just hang out and not have any pressure. We went to Hagakure Ramen and just enjoyed an afternoon there. And he mentioned rumors of somebody that goes to our school that's considered a gourmet king, that knows all the best food in the area and would be like the perfect guide to all the secret foods and things to eat around and get the best deals and best foods. So it sounds like a cool person to know. So we'll have to keep our eyes out for somebody fitting that description. But we just, enjoyed our meal, talked about what we talked about. It wasn't enough to advance our social link rank, but we did get a bit closer. I assume that we probably talked a bit about the rumors going around school about Mr. Ikoda, and also about Kenji's plans to confess his feelings to the teacher, Miss Kano. That's been a long-term goal of his, so I'm sure he's still working out all the logistics there. And I promised to keep his secret and be in his corner, so we probably discussed that a little bit. But just a nice low-pressure afternoon. No high stakes anything, just a couple guys talking and enjoying some food. So that was that. We wrapped up. I headed back to the dorm. Apparently, Fuuka is going to be moving in tomorrow morning. So they were getting her room all set up upstairs on the 3rd floor on the girls' floor. Junpei and Akihiko were in the lobby and said that they were told to stay out of the way. It was girls only up there, so they were down there trying to stay on hand to help out if needed. I went up to see what was going on the 3rd floor because I can't take a hint, and they said that they're working on getting the room ready. Yukari was afraid of finding bugs, and Mitsuru just said that she apologized that they've been busy, that we can't go to Tartarus, but this needed to take priority to get Fuuka settled in. And then to not so gently remind me that that was the girls' only floor, and I was not welcome there tonight. So I took the very overt hint and headed back downstairs. Without Tartarus on our plate, that gave me the evening to head out and do some other things. So I made my usual variety of stops. Stopped at Club Escapade to listen to the music, got my fortune told. Thought about going to the arcade, but the more I talked it out, after enjoying the muscle boot camp last night, I thought getting mindful boot camp tonight and kind of completing the set, that sounded like a lot of, I don't want to say fun, but it was probably fun, but a good productive use of the time. So I headed back to the Net Cafe and picked that up and brought it home. Cost-wise, it was about comparable to doing other activities tonight, and that was the last bit of software that the Net Cafe had for now. So I took that back to the shared computer, knowing that I don't have anything else to buy from them for now, so I'm kind of all caught up on whatever benefits I can get from that. And so I was able to use that software, which taught me meditation techniques, posture and breathing and all that good stuff, which made me feel calmer and more mindful and led to a permanent +5 to my SP. So that was really nice to have. And nice to get those early as well. +5 means a lot more right now when I've got a smaller amount of SP than it will later in the game. A bigger total number is always good, but especially now when it's a bigger percent of my total. So I used that, enjoyed that. Hopefully everyone else can use the shared software at the shared computer now. And I thought that was going to be where the day ended, but there was one more scene during the dark hour. Once again, the mysterious boy showed up and reminisced again about how the end of the world was coming and how it's still inevitable. Which was kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. But we talked a bit more, and he said that he was impressed by the potential and the growth I've shown in such a short span of time. And it intrigues him to the point that he wants to get to know me better. And he just asked, hey, can we be friends? And I thought that sounded great. He's already been on my side for so many things. He's warned me about the full moons and my powers. He's talked about that a couple times, but just every time I've been around him, he's been calm and collected and on my side. So I already kind of felt like we were friends, but now it kind of formalized that. And I said, I'd love to be friends, but what should I call you? I can't just keep calling you Mysterious Boy, can I? And rather than tell me what his name was, his reaction was, yeah, I guess I do need a name, don't I? That's interesting. Why don't you call me Pharos? So rather than Mysterious Boy, from now on, we know him to be Pharos. And we are officially friends. Officially to the point that actually unlocked a brand new social link. The Death Arcana. But we are now rank 1 of a whole new social link with Pharos, the Mysterious Boy. So that was a cool little bonus to the end of my day. Like I say, I thought the day was over, but we made a whole new social link from somebody that we already knew. But like so many of them, it was kind of that build-up to forming a real connection. It's not just one of those things where you see somebody for the first time and know that you're instantly, best friends or whatever. It's that build-up of spending time together and getting to know the person and seeing both sides of the social dynamic and eventually kind of mutually realizing that, hey, I think we are friends, aren't we? And so that was nice to see and feel and experience today. And I'm sure after the dark hour ended there, I was able to get back to sleep, get a nice full night of sleep, and come into Saturday to see where the day will go. That does wrap up our day on Friday, and I had a lot of fun with it, and looking back on it, again, it feels like I accomplished and achieved a lot. So yes, that is the end of Friday the 12th. It's been a great day, and I appreciate you being here to share it with me. I've been Tom Shima. I stream this Persona A Day series live on Twitch every day at 12:30 Eastern Time. I've also got that schedule up on Twitch that should be converted into your local time if that's easier. I also upload each of the day's playthroughs to a playlist on my YouTube channel. So if you ever miss a day or want to look back at any other of the previous days, those are available there just for you to do at your own schedule and whatever works best for you. I know people are busy, so having other options just can only be a good thing, right? But either way, I just hope everyone has a fantastic Friday, June 12th. We're coming into the weekend right around the corner, so hopefully you're able to wrap up the things you need to get done today, and you can have some time this weekend to do whatever you want to do, and just take a break for yourself and enjoy it. You've earned it. Once again, though, I've been Tom Shima. It's been a lot of fun being able to spend some time with you today, and I hope we can do it again sometime soon. Thank you so much, and goodbye.